apparently this was a response to a lot of what's been going on with your boy Barack. I know we went over that with him calling out a lot of the black men. Apparently this was her response. I know she just launched something, some plans for the black community. So I guess this was her, I don't know, her town hall without it being an official town hall. They took questions that seemed vetted, brought certain people on that it seemed like it was already kind of set up for her to succeed. And you still may be surprised by some of her answers that she gave. So we are not going to take too much time. We're going to get right into it. All right. So this one is about, I believe this is when the pastor comes in and asks a question. So we're going to have the pastor come in, and Kamala is going to tell us how she's been a part of the black church.
Donald Trump is about taking us backward.
Of Triumph Church. Where's Reverend Kinlock?
Oh, he's here.
Come on, tell Secret Service, move out the way. It's okay. It's just the Reverend. Yeah, all right.
Hey, Reverend.
What's up, Reverend?
Madam Vice President Charlamagne,
yes,
thank y'all for being in Detroit today.
And I want to make sure that y'all are understanding, hearing this, I believe, was specifically targeted to the black community. So before we get into it, I just want us to understand it was specifically targeted to the black community. All right, let's go.
Good night.
Thank you.
Recently, Madam Vice President, by one of Trump's surrogates from the black faith-based community, you've been criticized by him and others for your lack of engagement to the black church. Knowing that the black church is an unrivaled place in the heart of black people, what could you speak to as it relates to a future Harris administration, how you would partner with the black church to address some of the urgent needs of the black community? Dr. King talked about the fierce urgency of right now, and as a church, Triumph Church is in that place.
So first of all, that allegation, of course, is coming from the Trump team, because they are full of mis and disinformation, because they are trying to disconnect me from the people I have worked with and that I am from, so that they...
You heard that response, right? They've disconnected me from the people that I've worked with. Oh yeah, and I'm from there too. Hear that again. Hold on.
Because they are full of mis and disinformation, because they are trying to disconnect me from the people I have worked with and that I am from, so that they can try and have some advantage in this election, because otherwise they have nothing to run on. I grew up in the black church. I grew up attending 23rd Avenue Church of God in Oakland.
Kamala done grew up in the black church. She grew up in the middle class. She grew up she grew up everywhere.
California.
That's church.
Yes, that is church. My pastor is Amos C. Brown of Third Baptist Church in San Francisco, California.
Yes.
I have throughout my career and as vice president and recently been actively engaged in the church and church leaders, not only so we can share in fellowship, but so we can share in what we can do together that is about supporting the community, the strength of the community, the cohesion of the community. And it is my long-standing work, and therefore my pledge going forward, I will always work closely with the church, because I understand who our church leaders are and who the congregation is. We are talking about people.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all care? Like, do y'all care if she's working with the black church? Like serious question. Like, does that matter to you? Like, and to me, I'll be totally honest, it gives out a certain energy of just being a little bit out of touch, because truth be told, I feel like a lot of the people, well, I don't know if she's trying to appeal more to the Christian voter base. I don't know, but I don't know. Like, I'm seriously asking. I don't go to church, so I can't really tell you from my perspective if it matters, you know, from somebody's perspective who actually goes to church, if it matters that she's actually in tune and doing things with the church. I don't know. So I was just asking, like, is that something that appeals to y'all? Because for a lot of people, the church is not necessarily, the black church specifically, is not necessarily a place where, especially a lot of us younger folk, look to as just the ultimate guidance. a lot of people have problems with the black church. So that's why I was just asking y'all, like, as far as your opinion, like, what is your perspective on that? Her talking about her connection to the black church, is that something where you're looking at it like, oh, that's amazing, that's something we need to stand on? Or are you looking at it like, like, yeah, that makes sense, she poverty pimping just like them pastors? I don't know, I'm just asking.
Driven by faith and the ability to see what is possible, by faith, where I was raised, and I know many of us were, understanding that our God is a loving God, that our faith propels us to act in a way that is about kindness and justice and mercy, that is about lifting one another up. And let's talk about the contrast here. Donald Trump and his followers spend full time trying to suggest that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down.
What does this have to do with the black church? What is that? And Shy, shout out to Shy in the building. I'm glad you're here. What's so funny is when Byron Donalds was on the Breakfast Club talking about the black community, right? What did DJ Envy do? He was talking about how black families, he was proud that black families during a particular particular period of time, and now we're getting back to doing better, having more tight-knit black families with black fathers in the household, that we're moving in that direction, and that's something that he was very proud of. DJ Envy stopped him in the middle of his speech and said, yo, you married to a black woman? Because he knew that Byron was not married to a black woman. So where's the energy when it comes to Kamala? You're married to a Jewish guy, right? But you so focused on the black church? I'm just saying, keep the energy consistent. I have absolutely no problem with Kamala embracing her Christian faith, whether or not she's married to a Jewish person, Muslim person, somebody that practices Buddhism, Baha'i, whatever it is. But just understand, like, and this is a common theme in this interview, as well as a lot of other interviews that Kamala goes on. For example, like The View. She goes on these friendly interviews. She's looking to gain support from people that in a lot of ways are not friendly with you and do not want to see you in a friendly interview, because we're looking at you on The View and becoming even more turned off. We're looking at Charlamagne interview you, and we know that that's a friendly interview. If you guys have seen the entire interview, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this was not an interview. This was, let's just bring Kamala on, and I'm going to give you a space while providing you a whole lot of support to answer some of these questions, but we're going to make it a home environment for you. It's going to be very friendly as far as the interviewer, the interviewee, or the interviewer. So I don't know. Let's keep going for a couple of seconds on here. Then we're going to move to the next clip,
which is absolutely contrary to the church I know.
He sells Bibles, though.
Where our church and my church is about saying true leadership, the measure of that is based on who you lift up. And right. And then he's selling $60 Bibles or tennis shoes, and trying to play people as though that makes him more understanding of the black community. Come on.
First off, knock it off. Donald Trump, he was selling those shoes to the black community. He was selling $60 Bibles to the black community. That has absolutely... I don't know many black people buying or that are going to be drawn to somebody who's selling a $60 Bible. I don't know too many people that are going to be drawn to somebody for those shoes that, like, too many black people are going to be drawn to those shoes that Donald Trump put out. I'm just being honest. Maybe my taste is off. I don't know. But come on now. You know what I'm realizing? That Democrats get very mad when Republicans start to pander to their voter base the same way that they've been pandering. You get what I'm saying? But they feel like, damn, their pandering's doing better than ours. They're appealing to these groups of people better than we can. They're trying any and everything, and they're not even realizing the reason why the pandering doesn't work on y'all end, because we just don't believe it. We've heard this story countless times. We don't believe it. You could tell us you're going to do any and everything, but we don't believe it. You're the sitting vice president. You just told us on The View, a very friendly show, and you told us on other interviews as well, that you wouldn't do anything differently than Joe Biden, that you were involved in all the major decisions. So what are you talking about as far as now, what you would do as if you're not already in office and able to do those things right now? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're going to move to, hold on. We're going to move to 15. All right. Actually, it's going to play right into it. We're going to go right into it. All right. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.